Emily Henry's Happy Place was published in 2023 by Barclay. With each of her novels, Henry strives to create stories that appeal to everyone, regardless of gender. Her novels often explore relatable themes that delve into the essence of being human. Happy Place is no exception, focusing on the power of love and the profound impacts long-term relationships can have on individuals and those around them. The novel follows Harriet and Wynne, college sweethearts who annually visit their friend's cottage in Maine during the summer to relax, recharge, and reconnect. In the past, they attended these trips as a couple, but they broke up before this particular visit. Despite their breakup, they decide to go on the trip and pretend to still be a couple. Throughout the trip, they clash and begin to question whether there is still a foundation for their relationship. Should they have broken up? What would it be like to get back together? These are the questions that arise as they navigate their complex emotions and past connections. Summary. Harriet and Wynne, the novel's main characters, have been friends since college, sharing life's ups and downs together. Initially friends, their relationship eventually blossomed into a romance, leading to their engagement. Although their relationship thrived for a considerable time, they ended their engagement 5 months before the novel begins. Despite their breakup, Harriet and Wynne chose not to inform anyone, not wanting to spoil their annual vacation with friends, who all cherished their relationship. Every year, Harriet, Wynne, and their friends head to a rustic cottage in Maine. For Harriet and Wynne, the cottage holds a special place in their hearts. It was where their romance first blossomed and where they realized they were meant for each other. However, with the recent change in their relationship status, they are uncertain how their trip will be affected. Despite this, they continue as if nothing has happened between them to avoid ruining the trip for their friends. Complications arise when Ford, Harriet's ex and a well-known successful actor, arrives unexpectedly at the cottage, hoping to rekindle his romance with Harriet. Initially, it seems he might succeed as Harriet's past feelings are reignited. Meanwhile, Wynne, witnessing this potential rekindling, becomes worried that Ford and Harriet might reconnect. As the trip progresses, Harriet and Wynne begin to argue more frequently over trivial matters. One night, after consuming copious amounts of alcohol, they have a heated argument, exchanging hurtful words they don't truly mean. The next morning, they wake up with hangovers and a mutual understanding that they need to have a serious conversation about their relationship. This conversation, though frank and uncomfortable, leads them to acknowledge their lingering feelings for each other. They agree that if they want their relationship to endure, they need to make substantial changes. In the end, they decide to get back together and rekindle their romance, recognizing that they will face challenges but are committed to working through their issues together. Metaphors and similes. An emergency flare. The simile "anger shoots through me like an emergency flare" vividly captures the intensity and suddenness of the protagonist's emotional response. By comparing the anger to an emergency flare, it suggests that this emotion is not just subtle or simmering, but rather an explosive and attention-grabbing force that demands immediate recognition. Additionally, the simile hints at the temporary nature of the anger, much like a flare that burns brightly and intensely for a brief moment before fading away. Herding cats on acid. The simile "the process of getting everyone and everything out the door is like herding cats on acid" captures the chaotic and challenging nature of the situation. Comparing the act of coordinating people and belongings to the notoriously difficult task of herding cats, creatures known for their independence and resistance to direction, vividly illustrates the difficulty involved. The phrase "on acid" intensifies the simile, suggesting an even greater level of disorder and unpredictability. This comparison skillfully conveys the sense of wrangling disparate elements, each with its own unpredictable trajectory. A live snake. The simile "I drop the phone like it's a live snake" vividly captures the protagonist's intense reaction and emotional unease upon reading the unexpected and troubling message on Wynne's phone. Comparing the phone to a live snake evokes a visceral, instinctive response, suggesting that the information in the text message is not only startling but also imbued with a sense of danger and unpredictability. Snakes are commonly associated with fear and surprise, and this simile heightens the moment's tension, emphasizing the protagonist's immediate, almost reflexive need to distance themselves from the perceived threat in the message. A medieval rack. The simile "my heart feels like it's being stretched on a medieval rack" vividly conveys the intense emotional pain and internal struggle Harriet is experiencing in her relationship with Win. Comparing her heart to a medieval rack, an infamous torture device used to stretch the human body, creates a visceral image of her excruciating emotional tension. This simile suggests a profound sense of heartache, as if her emotions are being forcibly pulled in opposing directions, mirroring the historical brutality of the rack. Astronauts. The simile "we bundle up like astronauts" vividly portrays the characters' attire and the atmosphere of the gathering. By likening their bundled appearance to astronauts, the author draws a parallel between the snug, protective clothing worn by space explorers and the warm, layered clothing of the characters. This comparison adds a touch of whimsy and underscores the seriousness with which they prepare for the outdoors, as if embarking on a space expedition. Additionally, the simile conveys a sense of unity and shared purpose among the characters during this celebratory occasion.